It took us exactly 3 days to blow up this Faceless YouTube channel here, and we actually went ahead and monetized this channel in just 15 days. So as you can see here, the first day of monetization was the 30th of March, and the first day we posted the first video was on the 15th of March, and this channel went ahead and made $177 in the first month. And then in the second month, this channel went ahead and made $2,500. Now in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this exact thing as well. And for the people who don't know who I am, I'm Stefan, 23 years old, currently making $30,000 to $40,000 a month and constantly building new faceless channels, as we can see right here. And then I've made, just $42,000 with just 2 videos, as we can see right here. And then, I've scaled the channel from $0 to $48,000 in just 30 days, as we can see right here. And then, I've helped hundreds of other people do the exact same thing. As an example here, Martins, we've helped to make $31,000 in one single month. Then here, this student, $24,000 in one single month. Here, student, we helped to absolutely blow up their channel. Here, different one, $12,000 in one single month, and many, many more. Now, if you're interested in getting the exact same results, check out the first link in the video description. Book a call with me and we will have a look if we can actually scale up your own faceless YouTube channel as well. And if we can, then we'll work together. If we can, we won't. All right. Now, that being said, let's actually get into the video. I'll explain to you exactly how I built this channel, this exact channel. And here I can even reload it, so you guys can just believe me that I actually blew up this channel here from 0, 3 videos to here 95,000 views in a single day, even in the first week or something. So this is super strong, and in this video I'll show you exactly how to do that too. Now, step 1, if you want to build up a channel and if you want to blow up a channel very quickly, you're gonna have to do niche research, right? Niche research is gonna make or break your faceless YouTube channel. Now, for niche research, there's a specific criteria we always look at. Number 1, there are under 5 smaller channels creating content in this niche that are constantly getting more views than they have subscribers. This means there's high demand and low supply, which is one of the most important things when it comes to YouTube automation. You always have to think in, what do viewers actually want to see and what is there not enough of? That's where you're going to get the most amount of views, and that is also where you are actually going to blow up channels extremely fast. Then there are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers, because we just do not want to compete against channels with 100,000 subscribers, because YouTube is already trusting these accounts. So it's going to be extremely difficult for us to compete against huge channels. Then there are no smaller channels failing. This is super important, because if there are a bunch of smaller channels failing, why should your channel succeed? You're not special, I'm not special, nobody's special. Why should your channel succeed? The niche is not older than 6 months. The younger the niche is, the better it is actually going to be. Then I can create better content than my competitors. This can also just be longer content, and we'll focus on this in a bit. And then, am I actually interested in this niche? This is not a must, as long as you build a team that actually has interest in that specific niche. Is the niche monetizable? Super important. Otherwise, you're not going to make any money. And then huge bonus if you can actually post long videos. Why? Very simple, because if you post long videos, you can actually place more ads on your videos and make more money with the videos, all right? Now, very important, this does not need to be 1,000% with all niches you find, because it's going to be extremely difficult to find niches that are 1,000% perfect every single time. Very difficult, all right? If we look at, just as an example, this channel that I built from 0 to $48,000 one single month, this was no joke, a perfect niche. This was a perfect niche. And if you hit something like this, then you obviously make insane amounts of money very quickly, but it's not very usual for you guys to hit niches or get this exact criteria for 1,000% every single time. All right, then tools I would recommend to actually go ahead and do niche research is here Next Level, which I would highly recommend. This is no joke the best tool you can get for niche research. 13 euros a month. Really, it's going to save you so much time. And then VidIQ, the free plan, is enough. Now, what we're going to use to do niche research is a dummy account, all right? There are hundreds of different ways to do niche research, but I absolutely love the dummy account method. of doing niche research. Now, this is basically just an account that we only use for doing niche research. So we don't watch any private videos on these accounts, okay? The YouTube homepage changed for our advantage, and YouTube got extremely good at predicting what we are wanting to watch. Now, we can actually use this to our advantage to train the YouTube algorithm to only show us faceless niches on our home tab. All right. Now, instead of me explaining all of this, let me actually show you directly how to set one up, because once you have a dummy account set up, you can, no joke, find endless niches with it. All right. Now, if I go here, let me give you a second. All right. So firstly, this is here exactly how my dummy account looks like. As we can see here, just a random YouTube channel where, on this YouTube page, you just see faceless content everywhere. Like there's just faceless, everything is just faceless. Now, how do you set an account up like this? You basically go ahead and you create a brand new account, okay? I'm just going to simulate this in an incognito window. As we can see right here, just imagine this is a brand new account. Then you're going to look up anything you are interested in. So just as an example, the biggest houses, just as an example. Then you're going to click on the faceless videos, but you need to make sure that the video is actually faceless. You're going to click on it, all right? And then while this video is playing, we can already click on the next faceless video here on the sidebar. But what is very, very important is that we only click on faceless content. Now, if you want to do specific content, specific niches, right? If you want to do content that only interests you, then just make sure that you only click on faceless video or on faceless videos here on the sidebar that are actually in your specific niche. All right. Because for me now, I really don't mind. So I'm going to click on a bunch of very random things. So my YouTube homepage is also going to be very random. So it's not going to have any very specific niches or anything like that. It's going to be very, very random. But the most important thing is, as I've already said, we just want to click on faceless videos the whole time. All right. Now, once you've done this for a while, you can actually go back to your YouTube homepage. I'll do that right now. So you can go back to our YouTube homepage, and on here, we'll now see faceless video, not faceless video, faceless video, faceless video, faceless video, faceless, not faceless, 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 faceless. You can see a bunch of faceless content. And the more you kind of use this account, the better this account is actually going to become for niche research. All right. So I want you to make use of this exact account as much as you just can. All right. Now, if your account looks exactly like this one here, just as an example, and you find, just as an example, hidden planet dogs, just as an example, let's just say you found this niche here right now. What you can then actually do with Next Level is you can actually look deeper into the channel. So you can basically look at here, for example, the RPM, and have a look at like, hey, would it even make sense for me to go into this niche financially? So here we can see, okay, this channel makes $14,000 a month. Then we have to decide like, hey, is this something I would want to make a month? Is that enough for me? If yes, then we, go ahead and start the channel. All right. Now, what we also do is we also like to create new niches using the niche transfer method. All right. So instead of blindly copying something everyone is doing, we also like to, use the niche transfer method to 1000x our results. Now, this is essentially taking proven concepts and moving them to different markets on YouTube. Now, this can be anything. The title, the thumbnail style, the video style, anything you can think about. So for this channel here, now just as an example, might not be the best to kind of do that, right? Because it's already like a kind of broad niche, all right? But if we have here, just let's see here, for example, this channel right here, we can take this exact style of content and just as an example, move it to the Canadian or to the Australian kind of market, right? Now, this is exactly what these channels did here. So this was the first channel that was existing in this exact same niche. If we look at the content and, just keep an eye on this content, then have a look at this content, which is about cavemen, exact same style of content, just for different people. Here again, just for different people, and here again, just for different people. So this is one of the most powerful ways to kind of create new niches, because, you basically go into a new niche that, has never seen this kind of content before, and you're going into the niche with already knowing like, hey, what I'm about to do is already a proven concept, right? So that's why it is so powerful. Now, step 2, once we picked our niche, it's all about speed. So I always need you to have your content team, or to at least have a plan how you're going to create the content. You need to always have that in your head, all right? So you have 3 options for kind of approaching content creation. You can do it yourself, you can do the hybrid method, or you can also fully outsource it if you want to. Now, there are disadvantages and advantages for both or for each. So if you do it yourself, you basically don't have any cost. You have 100% profit margin, you learn new skills, and you have full control over your channel. The disadvantages are it's not very scalable, it's extremely time consuming, learning takes a bunch of time, and without you, there is no money, all right? Then we have the hybrid method. The advantages of it is, you have very low cost, and the hybrid method is where you do some and the freelancers do some, all right? Now, you have low cost, you do what you enjoy, you have more control, and the disadvantages are it's only partially scalable, very time consuming, some capital is actually required, and without you, there's still no income. Now, the hybrid method is actually something most of our students actually start with, and then they move to fully outsourcing. Now, fully outsourcing is where you work with a complete video or content creation team, where the advantages are it's not very time consuming or not at all. It's extremely scalable, still over 80% profit margin, you have time freedom, you work with experienced freelancers, and without you, there's still an income because videos can still be generated or created. Now, the disadvantages are it does require some initial capital, all right? Now, once we have our team, right, and this is something we almost need to build before we even go for niche research, because once we find a niche, we want to start moving, we don't want to take very long to jump into a niche. Once we, find a niche, we need to jump into it as fast as just possible. Then step 3, choosing video topics. Now, supply and demand is not just important in your niche, but it is also important in the video topics you choose. Now, how do you actually go ahead and find demand? You look at recent outlier videos on competitor channels, look at recent trending formats, and very important, do not copy the most popular videos from competitors, because this is what everyone does, and your videos will 100% fail if you do exactly. If you go ahead and do what everyone does, the whole supply and demand thing, alone from that perspective, it does not make any sense, okay? Then, how do you actually find supply? Use your YouTube search bar and look how many people have created the exact same video. If it's been done more than 3 times and you do not have a different angle to that specific video, go ahead and look for a different topic. It doesn't make sense to create a video on that exact video. Why? Because YouTube will always show the videos to the hardcore fans of that niche first. And if they have already seen that video multiple times, they literally do not have any reason for clicking on your video, except if it follows a different angle. Now, how does a perfect video topic look like? A perfect video topic actually resonates with your audience. So do they even want to watch this? Some topics sound super interesting but are super boring. Then your topic has to be posted on time, especially if it's a trend. Repeat what has done well in the past. Leverage negativity, because humans respond better to negative things. And this has always been the case. If you look at the news, you will see the news is always negative headlines. All right. Then step 4. There are different kind of YouTube accounts for creating your account. So we have brand new account, aged accounts, personal accounts, and pre-monetized accounts. Now, I would not use pre-monetized accounts simply because of the reason, in most cases, 99% of cases, you don't know who had the channel before you. So, and then not only that, but secondly, these channels do cost quite a bit of money, right? So we always want to start with brand new accounts, especially if we want to build long-term channels, aged accounts, and personal accounts. Personal accounts are always going to be the best accounts because YouTube already knows hey, okay, there's a human behind that account. Now we want to protect our channel from day one. So we use different email addresses for every single account we create. We use different AdSense accounts, different browsers, and different Chrome profiles. And no, you do not need any proxies, anti-detect, or anything like that. You just don't need it. I've never needed it before. Okay. Then we want to create the channel. This is something that should not take longer than 10 to 15 minutes. All right. We can literally go ahead. You can create the logo with AI. We can get the channel name with AI. We can do everything with AI, and this should not take longer than 10 to 15 minutes. All right. Then we actually want to go ahead and we want to warm up our account. So we warm up our accounts to increase our trust score. Now, trust score is basically how much does the platform actually trust our channel. This is super important for YouTube to actually go ahead and push our videos. Now, what accounts actually need to be warmed up? Oops. New accounts need to be warmed up. and then aged accounts need to be warmed up. Now, how do you go ahead and warm up your account? We use it as a normal user. We watch 1 to 2 hours of content per day. We subscribe, comment, and like to different videos. Do not spam it, just act like a normal human, all right? Then we do this for 1 week plus to lower the risk of a low trust score. Now, a quick note, always have 1 to 2 warmed up channels ready to go, because keep in mind, we want to have speed once we have a niche that is actually working, all right? Then we go to step 5, where we actually go ahead and we start, I always follow this exact process with every niche I get into, to avoid spending money on videos that will never work. So first thing, we do niche research, then we choose a account, then we need 10, not 5, but 10 to 15 video topics, all right? We're actually gonna create these video topics as cheap as just possible. So with, ChatGPT, then 11 labs, freelancers, for the freelancer, I would not pay more than $25 for a video, right? Keep the costs low, especially in the beginning. Then for the thumbnail, we can use a freelancer, or we can do it ourselves. If you, know how to create thumbnails, then just do it yourself. And then, we need to make sure that our videos are 1.5 times longer than our competitive videos. Why? Because YouTube is always going to push the longer video, the video that can keep someone on YouTube for the longest period of time, or the video that actually keeps someone on YouTube for the longest period of time. Then for the thumbnail and title, we always want to use with proven concepts, all right? We do not want to use random things, because why do we want to reinvent the wheel if we already know what is working? So we always work with things that have worked in the past, all right? Now, once we have that done and ready, then we actually go into the posting phase. So we post, skip, post, skip, post, skip, post. So we want to be a little bit inconsistent, especially in the beginning, because we want to, go ahead and show YouTube that there's a human behind the account. Now, one of two things is going to happen. Either the channel is actually going to blow up, as we see right here. If this actually happens, then we go ahead and we continue to post on this exact channel. If this does not happen and we do not see any views going up, then we actually do not continue to post on this channel, and we go and try to understand, why did this channel fail? Was it the niche, the video topics, the packaging, the video length, or maybe is it just a bad channel? So you have to ask yourself these kind of things, and always go back and try to understand, why did the channel fail? Now, once you understood why the channel actually failed, you actually go back to step 1 and you start doing niche research again, and you repeat this process until you actually get something that works. Now, for most people, this goes quite quickly, because you will very quickly understand, what did I do wrong with this exact channel, and why did it not work? Now, guys, if you need any help with kind of implementing all of this, then check out the first link in the video description. Book a call with me and let's scale your channel up to here, for example, $8,000 a month, or here 18, or here, just to your first $1,000, or here $4,000 one single month. Check the link out and, book your call. We'll then speak on a call, have a look how your situation is, how we can scale you up. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.